Hey there, fellow founders. Are you looking to unlock the secrets behind rapid business growth? Join my vibrant meetup group where we dive into masterclasses on game-changing strategies every single month. We've tackled topics like building a lean marketing engine, crafting killer lead magnets, and leveraging gateway offers to sell high-ticket offers. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next one. Come share your experiences, learn from the best, and let's grow together. Sign up and be part of the next masterclass by going to events.sarahnoelblock.com. That's events.sarahnoelblock.com. Welcome to Tiny Marketing. I am Sarah Noel Block, and this is the Uncut Summer Series. Today, we're sharing episode 150, which is a live training of the Everyday Profit Habits Masterclass. Enjoy. This is Everyday Profit Habits, and you might have been introduced to this topic through LinkedIn. I know I talked about it there first, and it was, hi, thank you. And it was also in episode 98 of the Tiny Marketing Show. I shared 10 everyday profit habits that you could implement today that would make you money. So let's get into it. Today, we're getting into 39. I have been brainstorming this for months now. We are getting into 39 everyday profit habits. So hello, I'm going to make me small and this big so you can see the screen better. Okay. So I'm Sarah Noel Block, and I am a consultant, and I help other consultants and service professionals and fractionals shorten their sales cycles and grow their pipeline with lean marketing engines. So whether you're starting from scratch or you're looking to refine your strategy because something's not quite clicking for you, I'm here to guide you, and let's get started. The one thing that I want you to understand today is that making money is a habit. In 90 days, your business will grow or shrink depending on the habits that you start today. I'm not making that up. That's actually, hi. Thank you guys for saying hi. I just want to make sure that I can see your comments on the StreamYard side of things. I have actually been tracking this, and I have discovered that 90 days is the key. When you start these habits, within 90 days, you will be booked out. It took me about 90 days to get 7 months booked. And then I took 90 days off, and guess what? I was no longer booked out. It makes a massive difference. So let's get into it. 7 months. It took me 90 days for me to get booked out 7 months and have a wait list. 6 weeks. I had a happy 6-week wait list to work with me. People were perfectly fine being on that wait list. So if you've ever thought, okay, I have too much on my plate, I have too many clients in line. Actually, if you listen to the podcast episode this week, episode 103, that's what we talked about, is when you have too many leads, what do you do next? You start a wait list, and they're okay with that if you do it the right way. And the last stat I want to tell you about is 90 days. I took 90 days off from my everyday profit habits, and my sales pipeline collapsed. Guess what? I turned them back on, and it revitalized. These habits actually work, which is the inspiration of why I wanted to be here today, have this conversation, and teach you about the habits that have sustained my business for 4 years. It takes time to build habits, though, doesn't it? We always want to have immediate results, but it takes time to adapt them to our everyday life and make sure that you're actually doing them every day. But these habits will get that money ka-chinging in your bank account without throwing spaghetti at the wall. A lot of times we start things and we're like, okay, this isn't working for me. I'm going to try something else. And that is not how it works. you need to be consistent. Your money is made through consistency and maintaining what you're doing. Okay? So if these things don't change your life in a week, please do not give up on them, because I assure you they will. They will change your life. Sales success comes from consistency, not luck. A lot of you here today might be thinking, or you might have started your business and you relied pretty heavily on referrals, and you were able to build your business from referrals, word of mouth, and that is a part of the strategy. Referrals are still huge for my business, but at the same time, it's not the only thing. And I do not rely on people just happening to think of me. I don't rely on that. It's all part of the system to make sure that they are thinking of me when something comes up. The second thing, building habits around your sales process makes progress inevitable. If you build these habits, they will keep stacking and they will keep helping you. It works. And daily sales habits keeps your pipeline full and your revenue growing. So my CFO, so for the record, I'm a solo consultant. I work by myself. I do not have a team, but I have a fractional CFO who does my money stuff. And she was looking at my numbers the other day and she goes, "Your profits grew 168%. What did you do?" Today is what I'm teaching you, is what I did to make those profits grow 168% year over year. And I didn't do, yes, I made more money because of these habits, but you also have to look at optimizing your operations. Are there things that you can cut that you don't really need to spend money on? Are you as efficient as possible with your money? All of that goes into the profitability, but you got to make sales too, right? So the impact of habits on sales success: consistency. Habits ensure daily actions are taken, creating steady momentum. So here's the thing. I'm going to teach you 39 profit habits today. And what you need to do is just take a couple of them and do them every single day. Make them a habit. Do them when you're eating breakfast, for example. Hey. And I like to habit stack. So when I'm doing one thing, I also am doing another, because I've already have this habit, 7:15 a.m. I work out. That is when I work out. And usually when I'm working out is also when I'm starting to workshop in my head what I'm going to write on LinkedIn. So that's where I habit stack is. I finish my workout. I've thought about what I'm going to talk about on LinkedIn, and then I post it on my phone as I'm working out. So that's a habit stacking thing I've done. All right, let's go into efficiency. Automation of small tasks lead to greater overall productivity. So today we're not just talking about the habits, but we're also going to talk about ways you can automate it and make it easy for you to be able to do these habits every day. And then predictability. With habits, you can better predict and manage your sales pipeline. It's crazy how much power you feel like you have when you have control over your sales pipeline and you know these leads are going to come in. You know how many are going to convert because you've done it and you're tracking it and you know it's going to work. Hey there, amazing founders. Ready to take your business to the next level? Join our Gateway Offer Challenge and watch your sales soar. In this challenge, you'll get mini Gateway Offer trainings to perfect your offers. Learn how to structure your documentation so it sells for you. Create buzz around your offer and identify eager clients with our sales training. Plus, get exclusive outreach templates that take the guesswork out of prospecting. And because selling should be fun, we've gamified this challenge. Who can sell the most gateway offers? And let's not forget, you'll also learn how to effortlessly upsell to your signature offer. Ready to level up? Join the Gateway Offer Challenge today. Your business will thank you. Go to challenge.sarahnoelblock.com. That is CHALLENGE.SARAHNOELBLOCK.com noelblock.com. Okay, so how do you create sales habits? Start small. Just choose one action to focus on each day on this list. Yeah, it's a lengthy list, but I don't expect you to do 39 things every day. Just start with one. Set a schedule. Integrate the habit into your daily routine. So, batching and habit stacking are two things that I talk about all the time. With batching, I have my Monday morning marketing. So, I batch all of my marketing and do it on Monday mornings. And then habit stacking. I have my everyday profit habits that I do, but I stack it on top of a habit that I already have. So I make sure that I don't miss it. So, like I was saying, I'll do my LinkedIn stuff when I'm like right after I'm done working out. And I'll do biz dev stuff when I'm eating breakfast. So you'll know what I'm talking about in a minute. And then measure progress. So track your actions and the results. I use Airtable. And I built out a dashboard for myself where I'll track each one of these interactions, these habits that I've done, and what it got me in the end. So, did it get me a partnership opportunity? Did it get me a lead? Did it get me a referral? Did they become a client? So, I track all of those little elements so I know which habits equate to money. And then adjust as needed. So just because these habits work for me doesn't mean every single one is going to work for you. So track it in your Airtable or whatever CRM you're using, and then tweak it based off of what's working for you and your audience. We're all different. And I don't for a second think that there's a one fit solution for everybody. So I'm giving you lots of solutions today. I want you to test them out and see what works for you. All right, are you ready? Let's get into these habits. Okay, business development. Let me see if I can. There, that one's better. Okay, business development. So I'm going to go through each of these elements, and I have the chat open right over on this right side here. Ask questions if they come up. So number one is go through your lead list and email any warm leads to set up connection calls. So connection calls are like networking calls. Make them short, 20 minutes or less. So go through the lead list and hit your warm leads. Go through your lead list and send private invitations to hot leads. So let me tell you the difference between warm leads and hot leads. Warm leads they interact with your content, but they haven't bought from you before. Where hot leads, they've at least bought like a micro offer from you. So they've already exchanged money for your value. They're hot. Warm leads, they look like they're on the precipice of becoming a hot lead. So a lot of times, warm leads will come from active lead generators, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. And hot leads come from micro offers. I'll also explain what that means in a minute. Okay. And then private invitations. Let me explain what that is really quick. So a private invitation, I usually the subject that I put on that email is private invite. And then I invite them to a specific offer that I know will help them. So that is what I do. I already know them because I've worked with them in some capacity. They have worked with me on a micro offer. So I have an idea of their specific needs, and that's why I send them private invitations for offers that I know make sense for them. Next, create an interview style signature series to build relationships with potential clients and referral partners. So a signature series could be something as simple as a monthly webinar or even a quarterly roundtable. It doesn't have to be all the time. It could also be like my show, a podcast where I'm interviewing other people within my industry. It could be a YouTube show, but a signature series with an interview style element to it gives you an excuse for business development because you have a reason to connect with people and say, hey, let's see how we can help each other out. And you have your signature series that you can leverage to give them a little bit of your spotlight. and you can borrow a little bit of theirs and their audience. Okay. Aim for 5 quick 15-minute connection calls each week with people who share the same audience as you. So I usually find people for this in communities that are all about, like, I work a lot with fractionals and consultants. So I'm in a lot of communities with fractionals and consultants. So I'm often finding them like post an event. They'll do a monthly roundtable where we're talking about a certain subject. And then I'll connect with all of them on LinkedIn and we'll have a conversation there. Use tools like LinkedIn Navigator or Apollo to create an account-based marketing list. So when you use LinkedIn Navigator or Apollo, you can filter based off of your dream client criteria. So if you only work with one person accounting firms, let's say, you can filter it down that way in LinkedIn Navigator or Apollo and create a whole list. Now, you can connect with them via email. Each of those have the option of just connecting on LinkedIn, and you can start having conversations with them, interacting with their content. But having this account list of people that you want to work with, that makes it a lot easier for you to make sure that you're getting in front of those people, right? The people that are on that account list. Next, join communities that your dream clients would be a part of. So one way that I find these more hidden gem communities is whenever I'm on a connection call, I ask them, what communities are you part of? Is there any insider tips that you have? Anything that you know that I should know? And having a lot of times I'll get these private invitations that are invite only communities because I asked the question. A lot of times it's all about just asking. So that's another reason why setting up those connection calls are so important. And you want those connection calls with people who share the same audience as you. So you guys are swimming in the same pools, but you're not selling the same thing. Okay, next. Go to events within those communities and connect with the attendees on your preferred social media platform. So every community that I'm part of that just is like swarming with my ideal clients, I go to all of their events. And I'm the first person in the chat that's like, okay, everybody, let's drop our LinkedIn links so we can connect offline. And I'll connect with every single one of them and I'll go through it and see who makes sense to set up a one-to-one conversation with. Because, not everybody is going to be a good fit, but if I know that I can help them and they can probably help me, it would make sense to reach out and see if they wanted to go on a connection call. It's like every interaction you have, your goal should be to have some sort of communication point with them, have some sort of one-to-one connection with them. Okay. All right. And last on the business development list is pitch to speak in those communities. Once you find these watering holes, you want to pitch to speak to them. So this is getting in pretty deep, but you want to have a talk that breaks down the framework of the journey you take people through. And it doesn't have to be overcomplicated, but it can be like a 30-minute. So for myself, I have a masterclass that is up to an hour and it teaches how to build a lean marketing engine. But I can take out certain slides and make it a 20-minute talk. I can make it a 30-minute talk. I just swap out the slides to make it beefier or less beefy. All right. So those are the business development tips that we have. And the pitch to speak in those communities, that's something that we dive into in the Lean Marketing Engine Accelerator, which we're going to talk about at the end a little bit. But finding those watering holes where your dream clients are spending time, that's how you make money, is spending time with the people you want to connect with and work with. All right. One-to-one email is next. So add a super signature to your email signature in Gmail or whatever platform you use. I use Gmail. And in that super signature in your email, you want to say the different ways that you work with people. So I have my signature, but I have a section in my signature that says 3 ways to work with me. 1, 2, 3. But that means I'm giving a little pitch to everybody I reply to in my email, one-to-one. Next, review past proposals or your gateway offers for prospects that did not upsell and reconnect with them. So if I am having a slow quarter, I'll go through my old proposals and just shoot them an email, see how they're doing, reconnect, see if they're up for a connection call. Also, gateway offers. I have a folder of gateway offers that didn't move to a signature offer. So I'll reconnect with them. Now let's go to that last point. Set a boomerang to reconnect with anyone who didn't upsell every 90 days. So boomerang is an add-on that you can add to Gmail and Outlook. And basically, you can set it to remind you with a note to respond to someone. So it's a big help for any sort of like CRM. I use it for CRM purposes only. So I'll set my boomerang every 90 days to reconnect with someone, see how they're doing, see if they've accomplished the goals that they told me that they wanted to accomplish during that gateway offer. I don't try and sell them. No, I don't try to sell them. I just try and connect with them and see where they're at. And if they didn't find the right solution during those 90 days, they'll tell me. I don't need to hard sell on that. Next up is the offer ecosystem. Okay. So in the lean marketing engine, the first thing that we do is build out your offer ecosystem, because a lot of you have been taught to have one offer or just those 3 offers. But an offer ecosystem works together to pull people through and to your signature offer. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what an offer ecosystem is. You want to use micro offers. So those are digital products that are less than $100 and provide a high ticket value for a low ticket price. So micro offers earn trust. They grow your list while you get paid. How nice is that? And they pull people into your funnel. They should help your prospect accomplish a complete task, something that they want to accomplish. And you should have them accomplish that within a week. So that's the time frame. Micro offers are less than $100. They are a way to grow your list with paid people. And remember what I said 2 slides ago? The people who have paid you are your hottest leads. So these are the best leads to get, the micro offer ones. And you want them to be able to leverage that digital product that you sold them to complete a task that they really want to complete within a week. Okay. Next is launch a gateway offer to provide a natural entry point for new clients without a super high ticket cost or long commitment. So we all know we're here for a reason. You wanted to go to this profit habits masterclass because you want some system around selling. And I get it. And if you haven't already, you want to leverage a gateway offer, because a gateway offer provides a system around selling. What it does is it's about 10 to 25% of your signature offer. That's the price point. And it is an entry point to working with you on your signature offer. So people have to go through the gateway offer to be able to qualify for your signature offer. It allows you to do all of the discovery work and build a baseline strategy for them and get their buy-in and hell yes on that strategy before you do the signature offer. It's a short time commitment, no more than 2 weeks. And the cost commitment should be 10 to 25% of your signature offer for a reason. And that's because we don't want it super high cost, but we want it high enough that we know that they are willing to invest in something that's comparable to your signature offer. So we're not getting looky-loos. We're getting people who actually would be able to benefit from your signature offer. Okay, so that's 2. And then 3, use lead gen that provides one complete win that can be accomplished within a day. So a lead gen, I'm going to get into this a little bit more when I talk about the Lean Marketing Accelerator, but you want 2 lead generators. You want a passive one, and a passive lead generator would be like a digital product, but it's lower level. They would be able to accomplish something within a day instead of a week. And an active lead generator is something that is higher level. It brings in warm leads. So 2 slides ago, when I said we have our hot and we have our warm, this is where the warm comes in, is the active lead generator. And it usually has some sort of live-ish element to it, like a masterclass. It could be pre-recorded or it could be live, but it should take place in a time container. So it's time sensitive. It needs to be accomplished within a certain amount of time. And it also adds urgency to complete it in order to access the next level of working with you. So our hot leads come from micro offers. Our warm leads come from active lead generators. Our cold leads come from passive lead generators. And gateway offers are how we make sure that our signature offers are going perfectly and have a hell yes buy-in before we start. Okay, let's get into those lead generators some more. So create a passive lead magnet, and that can look like a digital download that leads to your signature offer. Every 6 to 12 weeks, I promised you guys I'd give you timelines. Every 6 to 12 weeks, launch an active lead magnet that brings hot leads into your signature offer. So an active lead magnet can look like a challenge. It can look like a virtual event like this, a masterclass. It can be a workshop. The important thing around it is that it needs to be time sensitive. It needs to add urgency. And then create an email workflow for each lead magnet that you create that leads to applications or sales calls, or a wait list, depending on how busy you are. So your goal is for everybody who goes through your lead generation funnel to do one of those things: apply to work with you, schedule a one-to-one sales call, or get on the wait list. All right, let's get into social media. You want to, social media is where I do most of my biz dev, so I like this one. Connect with 10 ideal clients on social media with a personalized note. I do this by following people who have the same audience as me. They also serve fractionals, consultants, service professionals. And I will comment something thoughtful, something valuable on their posts. But then I take it a step further and I go to everybody who has interacted with that post. You know, the likes, the hearts, the little giving thing. I click on that and I connect with anyone who would be a good fit client. So connect with at least 10 ideal clients on social media every day. Review your profile views on LinkedIn and DM anyone that is relevant to you. So anyone who would make sense to work with you. I made $25,000 in a month doing just that thing. Leverage a super signature on social media posts to subtly remind people what you do. So for anybody who doesn't know what a super signature is, a super signature is where it's, at the very bottom of your social media post, and it tells people what you do, who you do it for, and what makes you different. So that's what a super signature is. You can go to LinkedIn/IN/Sarah Noel Block, and you can see it at the end of all of mine. Okay. Tell customer stories to explain the value you provide without direct selling. So anytime you can leverage a customer story, a transformation you've helped people go through, that's huge. You don't have to sell because your story is selling for you, and that'll get you DMs. Share your customer results with screenshots with their wins. So anytime you're getting a DM or a Voxer or an email telling you about a win that they've gotten, get a screenshot of it, and you can blank out all of their personal information. But those screenshots, that's user generated content. And that is super powerful because it's proof. You're not just making the stuff up. Here's proof of it. Um, comment on posts from people who share the same audience as you. So you're showing up in their feeds. I think that the LinkedIn algorithm is something that a lot of people got wrong. You don't want to miss out. Like if you only have time for one thing today when it comes to LinkedIn, don't post, comment on other people's posts because it gets you in the feed of all of the people you want to work with. Be very strategic with who you're commenting on because if they share the same audience as you, you're showing up in thousands of feeds that you wouldn't have otherwise. And that is probably more impressions than your post is going to get. And last, connect or follow people who engage with posts from people who share the same audience as you. So if they have liked, commented, someone who does accounting for service providers, as an example, I'm going to follow them or connect with them because they would also want to work with me and I'm not a direct competitor with them anyway. Content marketing. This is my baby. This is my favorite. And this is where a lot of people get content marketing wrong. So these are ways you can sell with content marketing. 1, create campaign content. That's talk about what that was a note for myself. Talk about what campaign content is, and you can tie it to your anchor content. Oh my goodness. Let me talk about what campaign content is and how you can tie it to your content. Okay. So create campaign content is when you're addressing common objections that you get on sales calls. It is breaking apart your framework or the journey that you take your clients through and giving little teaching moments from each piece of that framework. You're answering questions people have when they need your service. So any frequently asked questions, you can create content around that. How you can, back to my note to myself that I was supposed to delete before, how you can connect your campaign content to your anchor content, core content, signature series, whatever you want to call it. I call it all of them. I have that included in it. So I'll do bonus episodes. So let's just talk about me for a second. My anchor content is Tiny Marketing Podcast. So when I'm doing campaign content, I don't necessarily change what episode I would do on a regular series. What I do to make it stand out is I release a series of bonus episodes. So like my episodes drop on Sundays. So Monday through Friday, I will drop mini episodes each of those days addressing the common objections, breaking apart my framework, answering questions people have asked about it. These are the things that move the needle and get people to want to buy. They also would want to know, what does the container look like? Like, what's the experience that your client will go through? What are customer stories that you can pull into it? What transformations have you gotten your clients through? Okay, enough with that. Create a signature series that nurtures relationships with your ideal audience. So I'll go back to my show. I have my podcast. In almost every single sales call I have, someone makes a reference to something I taught on the Tiny Marketing Podcast. So your signature series will become that for you. This can be in any format that you want. It could be in YouTube. It could be in a podcast format. But basically what you want it to do is to give little value bombs all the time. You are teaching people. You are earning that know, like, trust factor with your ideal audience. And it nurtures for you. It nurtures at scale. Next is create collab content. This looks like co-hosted virtual events. It looks like newsletter swaps, podcast guesting. The goal is to borrow other people's audiences. So if you've heard me talk before about content marketing, you know my 4 C's. It's core content, and that's your signature series. It is campaign content, and that is exactly what I talked about, breaking apart your framework and answering all of the sales questions that you'd have. It's collab content, and that is the first thing I recommend that everybody do is collab content because you're borrowing other people's audiences. You don't need to have all of the tech stuff in place to make it work. You could podcast guest on someone else's show. You can do some sort of virtual event where you're using your collaborators' StreamYard in order to stream it. But the big thing is you get double, if not triple, the eyes on your content, and you're getting in front of an audience you wouldn't have otherwise. All right. And last, create a signature talk that explains your framework and can be used for podcast guesting, community speaking engagements, and stages. This is something that we work on in the Lean Marketing Engine Accelerator. It's in the know, like, trust factor section because having that signature talk makes everything else easier. Like I was saying before, I have my signature talk and I'll break it apart depending on what the audience is, the length of the talk. So while I have the same basic deck for the talk, no matter what, I can break it apart and it can become a podcast episode on someone else's podcast. I can make it a 20-minute live stream with someone else's audience. So it needs to be very modular. Ooh, I like that. Yep, modular is a good way to describe what your signature talk should be. Email marketing is next. Okay, so send an email marketing message about a specific offer. Leverage bonuses to encourage action. Leverage expiring discounts to encourage action. So, okay, let's go back to the beginning of email marketing. In the comments, do you guys do regular newsletters? Do you have an email list? If you do, then this will be a lot easier for you because you don't have to start from scratch. But if you don't, go back to that collab content because that is how you build your list, is through collaborations. That's the fastest way to grow your list. Okay. So about once a month, I will send a message about a specific offer. And this is called evergreen selling. Just a once a month sales email that goes deep onto a specific offer that you have. If you want people to be able to act now, then you need to leverage bonuses to encourage action immediately. Give them 48 hours and they can get those extra bonuses. You want to leverage expiring discounts to encourage action. So this is often done with waitlist strategies. If you have a waitlist, like we talked about earlier, then people who are on that wait list and buy first get the biggest discount. And it slowly gets to be a smaller discount the next few days. Leverage flash sales to encourage action. Those are 4-day sales. I usually do them Fridays to Mondays. And I haven't ever not sold something from a flash sale. Fridays to Mondays work really well for them. Leverage pop-up offers. So pop-up offers are offers that maybe you're testing out or you used to do a long time ago and you don't always want to do them. It's a limited availability offer that you have available. But the thing that's exciting about that is that you don't have to offer any sort of discount for it. The urgency in there is that you're only offering this pop-up offer for a limited amount of time. So if they want to act, they need to act now because you won't be offering that next month. Add a PS line to your nurture emails. So I asked earlier, if you have a newsletter, an email newsletter, then you're sending a newsletter probably once a week. At the end of it, add a PS line. And that PS line should tell people how they can work with you, similar to that one-to-one email strategy I was telling you about. Another one with email marketing, when your prices go up, send an email. Let them know about, let's do flash sale rules. 4 days before your prices go up, let them know so people have a last chance to grab that old pricing. And last, use link actions to segment interest for your offers to nurture them at the right time. So let me explain what link actions are real quick. I use Flowdesk for my email marketing. And in it, whenever you have a link in the email that you're writing, you can click on it and set an action. So one of the actions that you can set is to send them to a segment if they click on that link. So let's say the link is for, let's go backwards in time. The link is for a campaign content, a podcast where you are talking about your offer that you're launching. Then what you would do is have that segment an interest list for that specific offer because you know that they have some interest in it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be engaging with your campaign content. And then you can add them to a nurture sales sequence that explains more about that offer and works towards that application, waitlist, sales call, whatever you want them to do. Okay. So that is 39 profit habits. Stay to the end. I know a lot of you are like, oh, she went through all of those profit habits. But stay to the end because I'm giving you bonuses. I am giving you a document with this. You just have to wait a second, okay? I want you to see how freaking doable it is for you to build a booked out business. This isn't a pipe dream. I can tell you before I started these profit habits, I was on the struggle bus. I had a quarter where I got no new clients. And I was like, I guess I better start looking for a real job, put on my grown up pants. And when I started implementing these, everything changed for my business. And the same can be for you. You can have a booked out business that gets you comfortably booked out in the way that you want to, not in the overstressed way. And I would love to help you do this in your work. I created the Lean Marketing Engine Accelerator to help you fill your sales pipeline with ease. I want it to be easy for you. I want you to have the money to feel comfortable in your life and to not have to worry where that next lead is coming from or when that next one's going to close. So just 3 short slides. I'm going to explain what's inside the Lean Marketing Engine before I get to those bonuses. So the step 1 of the Lean Marketing Engine is our offer ecosystem. You were never taught, I was never taught how offers can work together to fill your sales pipeline. And don't feel bad about that because none of us were. It took me dissecting large scaling product businesses, dissecting them and turning them on their heads so it can work for a service business to figure this out and how this works. In the offer ecosystem sprint, which is the first thing we do inside the Lean Marketing Engine, we'll map out your ecosystem to bring in new hot leads that pay you to be in their pipeline. So you're getting those hot leads from your micro offers. You're getting those warm leads from your active generators. You're getting cold leads that are passively coming in that you don't have to work for. And you're getting ready to buy people through your gateway offers. So we do this through your 5 main offers: passive lead magnet, active lead generator, micro offers, gateway offer, signature offer framework. That's what we work through first. Second is your dream client messaging. No one told you how to leverage messaging or positioning to attract your dream clients and repel the wrong ones. How many of us have gotten leads where we're like, that's great. Thank you for the lead. I'm glad you want to work with me, but you're not the right fit. The goal of our dream client messaging is to attract only our dream clients and repel everybody else because we don't want to waste time on sales calls or with micro offers with people that are the wrong fit. In the dream client messaging sprint, we'll identify your dream client, build a simple to follow messaging strategy that you can use everywhere to attract perfect fit clients. I'm talking social media, email, website, everywhere. And we do this in 3 steps. Identify your perfect fit clients, find your unique angle in 3 pillars, and find their watering holes. So we know exactly how to bump into them in the online world. And then the last step is the KLT factor, know, like, trust. You know you should be building your visibility online with your niche, but you don't know how. I hear that every single day from people that I'm talking to on LinkedIn or on connection calls and sales calls. And I get it. Like, you are aware that you need people to know who you are, like you, and want to work with you, trust you. And that's what we'll work on in this, because this know, like, trust factor is what gets you to not have to sell on sales calls. Instead, you're just answering logistics questions like, when can we kick off? How long does it take? How much time will it take? Things like that. That's what we want to answer on sales calls, not having to convince people that we're worthy of their time and worthy of their money. So in the KLT Factor Sprint, we build your discoverability so your dream clients know, like, and trust you before ever hopping on a call. So we do this in 3 steps. We build your LinkedIn presence and social selling strategy. We launch your collabs to borrow other people's audiences. And then last, we build your signature series that acts as the anchor for your business and feeds all of the channels. So that is your signature series, is what we would use for, what goes in your emails, what goes on social media, all of that. So what's included in the Lean Marketing Engine? It's 6 training modules. So not just 6 trainings, but the modules. There's 6 of them. 4 one-to-one strategy calls, 4 feedback review sessions, and 1 Notion marketing hub. So I have actually worked with someone who is an expert in how people learn and how people digest information. And we did a reverse classroom style for this offer. What you do is you go through those training modules and you put together that first draft of the thing that you're creating based off of the templates and the frameworks I provide in your Notion Marketing Hub. And then we work together. So first thing we do is have our one-to-one strategy call. You do the modules and do your first draft in the Notion Hub. And then we do feedback review sessions where we go through, we comb through, and we make sure it's perfect. So that's how it works. My goal for you is to build a business that doesn't feel like work. I want you to make money and feel comfortable doing it, and do it in a way that's joyful for you and that leans into the things that you love doing. So what's the investment? I'm sure if you're still sticking around, you're either waiting for the bonuses or you're waiting for how much this costs. It's $29.50, and you can pay that in 3 payments. So what is that? I think it's like $650 each payment. So you can get started for $650. Hold on, I have my calculator out. And it's $983. $983 in 3 payments. So what's the next step? If you are interested in joining the Lean Marketing Engine, we can kick that off as soon as next week. And you can apply right here. So you could use that QR code, or you can go to sarahnoelblock.com/application, fill out the application. And seriously, there's no obligation. You can fill out the application and decide you don't want to do it, and that's perfectly fine. Or you can fill out the application and we can start next week, and you can have this Lean Marketing Engine ready to go and pull in all of these everyday profit habits that will work beautifully with it. And now, if you have any questions, you can DM me at Sarah Noel Block on LinkedIn, or you can email me at hello@sarahnoelblock.com. But let's get to the bonuses, because we're 3 minutes over and I want to make sure that you get them. So let's switch. So you can grab your bonuses here. You're going to get the Everyday Profit Habits worksheet that has all 39 of the profit habits that I talked about today, and the cadence in which you need to do them. So you'll know what you need to do weekly versus quarterly. You'll get a free Map Your Gateway Offer consult. So it'll be one-to-one with me, and we'll map out what your gateway offer can look like. 3, you'll get exclusive bonuses when you join the Lean Launch Accelerator if you apply for the Lean Launch Accelerator within the next 48 hours. And then last, you get 40 outreach prompts. So a lot of this was about connecting with people. And you might have been thinking, I don't know how to do that without feeling awkward. How do I do this? So I have 40 outreach prompts that you can use no matter the situation. You can use it in email, you can use it on LinkedIn, you can use it anywhere. So those are the bonuses you get. You can grab them right here, tinymarketing.myflowdesk.com/profit, or you could use the QR code. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. You can also go to LinkedIn and DM me. I am happy to have a conversation with you. Or you can email me at hello@sarahnoelblock.com. So everybody who signs up for these bonuses, I will send you the replay of this along with all of the bonuses. And you can always just reply to that email if you have any questions that come up at that point, because I'm the one who reads those. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I'll bounce. All right. I will see ya. Thank you. Hey, beauties. If you want those bonuses I talked about in that live training, then head down to the show notes because you can get them inside of the Tiny Marketing Club, which only costs $150 to get started. I'll see you over there.